After her death was kept secret for years, her children finally confirmed what many suspected all along. They revealed that she had been quietly battling health issues that she refused to share publicly, choosing instead to protect her privacy and maintain her dignity. Unexpectedly, her passing was more peaceful than many expected, but the truth about her private struggles shocked her fans and loved ones. Her children explained that she had endured months of treatments and hospital stays without seeking attention or sympathy. They described her as a woman who valued strength and independence, even in the face of suffering. This hidden chapter of her life showed a different side of her that few ever saw, the quiet resilience behind her bright public persona. Her family emphasized how she wanted her passing to remain discreet, away from media frenzy or public mourning. Now, with her secret out, many reflect on how her courage and determination shaped her entire life, leaving a legacy that goes beyond her achievements. Her story reminds us that even those who seem so strong might carry unspoken burdens. Her children's confirmation has changed how we see her and appreciate the depth of her character. Ultimately, her story continues to inspire others to face their own struggles with quiet bravery. After hearing about the political legacy of George Lansbury, it becomes clear how his actions and beliefs influenced his granddaughter, Angela Lansbury. George Lansbury was a leader who believed strongly in doing what was right, even when it was difficult. Lieutenant, he fought for the rights of ordinary people, women and workers, and he was a pacifist who cared deeply about peace. During a time when Europe was becoming more and more unstable, he worked hard to bring countries together and avoid war. He even tried to talk directly with leaders like Mussolini and Hitler, hoping to find peaceful solutions, though others criticized this approach. Long before he became a leader of the Labour Party, George had already shown his courage by resigning his seat in Parliament to support women's right to vote. He was willing to face arrest and jail for standing up for what he believed was just. His life was full of acts of civil disobedience aimed at making the world fairer for everyone. Despite the toll this took on his health, his dedication never wavered. His moral strength and commitment to justice left a lasting impression, not only on his political movement but also on his family. For Angela Lansbury, learning about her grandfather's life was like gaining insight into a person who believed in standing up for others and never giving up hope for a better world. His example of courage, compassion, and moral conviction became an important part of her values and the way she chose to lead her own life. From his unwavering stance on rights and peace, Angela learned the importance of integrity and fighting for what is right, influences that can be seen in her own dedication to her craft and her work as an advocate for social causes. His legacy of moral activism and resilience shaped her understanding of how individual actions can make a difference, inspiring her to use her talents to entertain and influence others for good. As she progressed in her career, Angela Lansbury carried the principles her grandfather embodied, showing kindness, strength, and a sense of duty in everything she did. Her connection to his life story served as a reminder that standing up for justice and human dignity is a noble pursuit that can influence the world around you. Certainly, Angela Lansbury's family history of activism played a significant role in shaping her values and character. Her father, Edgar Lansbury, was a dedicated socialist who served as mayor of Poplar in East London. He was deeply committed to social reforms, especially in improving housing and labor rights for working-class people. Growing up in this environment, Angela learned the importance of standing up for justice and helping others. Her family's activism extended beyond her father. Her aunt, Daisy Postgate, showed bravery by helping the famous suffragette Sylvia Pankhurst evade the authorities during the fight for women's voting rights. This act of courage demonstrated the family's defense of women's equality and social justice. Later, Angela's niece, Georgina Lansbury, continued the family's fight for human rights by actively protesting against apartheid in South Africa. She participated in international protests demanding the release of Nelson Mandela, a symbol of freedom and equality. These stories of fighting for justice were deeply embedded in Angela's upbringing. She carried these values into her career in entertainment, working quietly to support labor rights for actors. She helped ensure that emerging artists gained union recognition and healthcare benefits. Her moral compass, guided by her family's legacy, allowed her to stay grounded in her principles despite her fame. Angela Lansbury's life was a reflection of her family's enduring dedication to activism, justice, and equality. After experiencing the chaos and danger of war, Angela Lansbury's early life was shaped by a series of life-changing events. In 1940, as German airplanes bombed London, her family made the difficult decision to leave England and seek safety in North America. Angela, only 14 years old, watched her world shift as she and her family boarded a ship bound for the United States. However, just before their departure, the ship they had originally planned to sail on was torpedoed and sank by German forces, causing the loss of many lives. This narrow escape from disaster left an indelible mark on Angela, filling her with a mix of fear, relief, and a strange sense of adventure. The trauma she endured during these moments had a deep emotional impact, but also helped her grow stronger and more independent. When her family arrived in America, they initially settled in New York and then moved to Los Angeles, where her mother Moyna McGill looked for acting work. Angela became immersed in American culture, attending the Fegan School of Dramatic Art and exploring the theater. She later reflected that the upheaval caused by war was a strange gift, forcing her to mature faster than others and pushing her toward a life of artistic pursuit. The experience of fleeing war and surviving such a perilous journey became the foundation of her resilience, shaping her into a dedicated actress who would go on to achieve great success on stage and screen. Despite the hardships faced in her youth, Angela transformed her trauma into motivation, guiding her through a remarkable career that spanned decades and captivated audiences worldwide. Her early escape from danger became a story of survival and strength, reflecting a person who turned adversity into an enduring legacy. Angela Lansbury's romantic journey began with a brief and emotionally complex chapter when, at just 19 years old, she eloped with actor Richard Cromwell. Known for his boyish charm and early stardom in Hollywood films of the 1930s, Cromwell was 15 years her senior and represented for Angela a figure of sophistication and stability. Their courtship had been whirlwind, and their decision to marry was impulsive, a reflection of Angela's youthful longing for love and belonging in a new country. However, the marriage quickly unraveled, lasting less than a year. Angela soon discovered that Cromwell was gay, a reality he had not revealed, likely due to the oppressive societal norms of the 1940s, where homosexuality was stigmatized and could ruin a career. Though she was initially hurt and confused, Angela never harbored resentment toward him. Instead, she approached the experience with remarkable maturity and empathy for her age, later acknowledging that her own inexperience in love and relationships had played a role. Rather than allowing the episode to embitter her, she saw it as an education in both compassion and the hidden struggles many individuals faced in an intolerant era. Angela and Cromwell remained friends after their divorce, a testament to her emotional intelligence and capacity for forgiveness. This early brush with heartbreak ultimately steeled her for the more enduring love and life challenges that lay ahead. Angela Lansbury's second marriage proved to be the great love story of her life. In 1949, she married British actor and talent agent Peter Shaw, a charming and intelligent man whose quiet strength would become the foundation of their enduring partnership. Together, they raised 3 children: their son Anthony, daughter Deidre, and David, Peter's son from a previous relationship, whom Angela lovingly embraced as her own. Their union, which lasted more than 5 decades until Peter's passing in 2003, was marked by genuine companionship, mutual respect, and unwavering support. Peter later became an executive at MGM and co-founded a production company with Angela that would go on to produce Murder, She Wrote, intertwining their professional and personal lives even further. However, behind the public image of a successful and stable family, they endured significant private struggles. In the 1960s, as Angela's career was flourishing, the couple faced an intense crisis when both Anthony and Deidre fell into dangerous circles and began using hard drugs, including heroin. The turmoil strained Angela's efforts to balance the demands of stardom with the urgent need to protect and save her children. She later described this era as one of the most painful of her life, filled with sleepless nights, denial, fear, and a desperate search for solutions. The strong foundation of her marriage to Peter, built on deep love and shared values, became the anchor that allowed them to weather the storm together. Their willingness to take bold steps for the sake of their family ultimately defined the strength of their relationship. While the social atmosphere in Los Angeles grew more chaotic during the 1960s, Angela Lansbury faced a danger that went beyond the common struggles of that era. Her daughter Deidre, who was searching for a sense of belonging, became involved with people connected to Charles Manson, and his co-lieutenant. The Manson family was gaining influence by moving into Hollywood's outer circles, attracting young people with charm, manipulation, drugs, and strange spiritual ideas. Angela soon found out that her daughter was involved with these dangerous individuals, and she was filled with fear and concern for her child's safety and mental health. Rather than try to handle the problem in a small way, Angela and her husband Peter made a brave choice. They decided to leave Hollywood behind completely and move their entire family to County Cork in Ireland. This move was not only a change of location, but a deliberate decision to cut ties with the harmful environment that threatened their family. Angela paused her acting career, putting aside her work and stepping away from the spotlight to focus on her children's safety. This was a rare and courageous decision, especially for someone with her fame and success. Angela later said that moving away from Los Angeles saved her children's lives, and that it was the most important decision she ever made as a mother. Her actions showed her deep love and commitment to her children's well-being, even if it meant giving up her career for their safety. The move symbolized her strengths as a parent, and her willingness to take extraordinary steps to protect her family from the shadow of the Manson family and the darkness it represented. Following her years in Hollywood, Angela Lansbury and her family found solace in the peaceful countryside of County Cork in Ireland. They sought a retreat from the hectic life of fame, hoping to find a calmer, more meaningful existence surrounded by nature and simple traditions. The move was not easy, as it required leaving behind the spotlight and adjusting to a slower pace of life. Yet, this change gave the family a chance to heal emotionally and physically, creating a safe space for growth and self-discovery. Angela and her husband Peter dedicated themselves to caring for their children, helping them build trust and confidence. For Anthony, the move was particularly life-changing. He overcame struggles with addiction during this period and started to find new purpose. Eventually, he became a director, working behind the scenes on episodes of Murder, She Wrote, a show that Angela starred in. Their close collaboration deepened the bond between mother and son. Angela's daughter Deidre also experienced a transformation. She distanced herself from a troubled past involving the Manson group and later married. She tried her hand at running a small Italian restaurant in Los Angeles, which was short-lived. Angela saw this as a victory, knowing her daughter was making better choices. Ireland's quiet beauty and steadfast traditions helped energize and ground the family. Angela often spoke about how the land and the peaceful way of life there offered her emotional and spiritual renewal, describing it as a much-needed retreat that helped her regain strength and clarity. After about 10 years living in Ireland, Angela returned to Hollywood, energized and more grounded, carrying the lessons she learned there into her work and personal life. Her time in Ireland stayed with her, reminding her of the importance of resilience, humility, and gratitude in her journey through life. After a devastating personal tragedy, Angela Lansbury made the decision to leave Hollywood and relocate to Ireland in the early 1970s. The turning point came in 1970 when her family's home in Malibu was destroyed by a brush fire that ravaged the coastal hills of Southern California. The fire not only took their belongings but also their sense of security, further deepening the emotional strain the family was already experiencing. Angela's children, Anthony and Deidre, were struggling with addiction, and the pressures of Hollywood only exacerbated their challenges. The fire intensified Angela's resolve to find a safer, more supportive environment where her children could recover and rebuild their lives. At the time, Angela had become increasingly concerned about the lack of support systems available in America for young people battling addiction. The emotional toll on her family, compounded by the external pressures and negative influences of Hollywood, left her feeling that a drastic change was necessary. In seeking out a new life, she chose County Cork in Ireland, a place where tranquility, nature, and simplicity could provide the foundation for healing. Angela's new life in the Irish countryside was a far cry from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. She immersed herself in the simple pleasures of life, cooking daily meals, tending to a garden, and spending quiet moments reading. During this time, Angela made the difficult decision to step away from Hollywood and reduce her professional commitments. She turned down many roles, instead choosing selective stage work in London's West End, which allowed her to maintain a home base in Ireland. This period was marked by a shift in priorities for Angela. Her family's well-being came first. She focused on rebuilding not just a household, but also the emotional and psychological health of her children. The peace and stability she found in Ireland helped her family heal, and though the years were difficult, they were also transformative and grounding. This period in Ireland marked a significant turning point in Angela Lansbury's life, one that reshaped her and her family's future. Despite her fame and the pressures of Hollywood, Angela Lansbury approached aging with a calm and confident attitude that made her stand out. She believed that staying true to oneself was more important than trying to look young through expensive treatments or extreme diets. Unlike many actresses of her time, she chose not to have cosmetic surgery or follow fad diets that promise quick beauty fixes. Instead, she focused on inner vitality, saying that real energy and youthfulness come from within. She often joked that her good looks came from her grandfather George Lansbury's strong spirit and endless energy, highlighting her belief that genetics and attitude played big roles in aging gracefully. Angela maintained a simple, healthy way of eating based on her British roots, enjoying traditional foods like roasted meats, fresh vegetables, and herbal teas, which kept her feeling balanced and strong. She believed staying active was vital, so she took regular walks, did light stretching, and kept moving as long as her body allowed. She also openly admitted that she started smoking at a young age, around 14, which was common at the time, especially in theater circles. However, she quit smoking over 30 years before she passed away, showing her determination to improve her health. Throughout her life, she valued authenticity, self-respect, and discipline, rejecting superficial beauty standards. She thought that kindness, intelligence, and creativity made someone truly remarkable, and believed these qualities could keep a person young in spirit long after their appearance changes. Her balanced, down-to-earth approach to aging left a legacy that offered a meaningful alternative to Hollywood's obsession with staying forever young. As Angela Lansbury entered her later decades, she faced a number of physical challenges that tested her resilience, but never diminished her spirit. Like many who live into their 90s, she experienced health setbacks, including arthritis, which limited her mobility and eventually forced her to relinquish one of her favorite hobbies, gardening. Gardening had been a source of tranquility and joy for Angela during her years in Ireland, and giving it up was a difficult emotional adjustment. She also underwent hip and knee replacements, procedures that brought some relief but added to the list of age-related health complications. Despite these challenges, Angela remained mentally sharp, intellectually curious, and emotionally active. She maintained a daily routine that included reading novels and scripts, solving crossword puzzles, and keeping up with current events. Her sharp wit and enduring memory continued to impress those around her, even as she reduced her public appearances. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Angela made the difficult decision to decline attending major events, including the Tony Awards, where she had long been a beloved presence. She prioritized her health and understood the risks of public gatherings, especially in a period that posed elevated dangers for the elderly. Nevertheless, she continued to receive accolades, messages of admiration, and awards, some of which she accepted remotely or through written statements. Angela Lansbury never allowed illness or aging to define her. She faced each new challenge with grace and stoicism, maintaining her sense of humor and intellectual engagement to the very end. Her perseverance in the face of physical limitations was emblematic of her larger life story, one of grit, gratitude, and quiet endurance. Building on her illustrious career, Angela Lansbury's friendship with Bea Arthur was one of the most treasured aspects of her life. They first met in 1965 during the Broadway run of Mame, where Angela played the lively and colorful title role, while Bea portrayed her sharp-witted best friend Vera Charles. Their on-stage chemistry was undeniable and electrifying, capturing the audience's attention. However, it was offstage that their true friendship blossomed. Bea Arthur, famous for her dry wit and candid humor, found in Angela a warm, kind-hearted confidant with a deep, intelligent spirit. Their bond was built on laughter, loyalty, and mutual respect, growing stronger with each shared experience. Offstage, they often spent time together, sharing meals, stories, and personal moments, away from the glare of the spotlight. Angela admired Bea's honesty and unfiltered humor, often chuckling at her sharp remarks, while Bea found comfort in Angela's calm wisdom and generous heart. Despite their busy careers, with Bea known for her roles in Maude and The Golden Girls, and Angela for Murder, She Wrote, their friendship remained steady over the years. When Bea passed away in 2009, Angela was the one to deliver the memorial tribute. In her speech, she expressed deep emotion and affection, recalling their friendship and sharing anecdotes about Bea's kind and softer side, which was rarely seen in her characters. Hosting the memorial was a sincere gesture, an expression of their lasting connection. Their friendship showed Angela's rare ability to form meaningful relationships that endured despite the competitive and fleeting nature of show business. It demonstrated her loyalty, tenderness, and capacity for heartfelt connection, adding a rich layer to her life beyond her acting achievements. Angela Lansbury's extraordinary career spanned more than 7 decades, making her one of the most enduring and versatile performers in entertainment history. Over the course of her life, she took on more than 100 roles across film, television, and theater, leaving an indelible mark in each medium. She often credited her mother, Moyna McGill, a respected Irish actress known for her work on stage and screen, for inspiring her love of acting. Angela grew up watching her mother's performances and absorbing the world of storytelling from behind the curtain, giving her a natural affinity for the craft from a young age. Her breakthrough came remarkably early. At just 17 years old, Angela made her film debut in Gaslight, portraying the cunning maid Nancy opposite Ingrid Bergman and Charles Boyer. Her nuanced performance earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress, a rare feat for a teenager in her first role. The following year, she received another Oscar nomination for her chilling role in The Picture of Dorian Gray, cementing her reputation as an actress with astonishing range and emotional intelligence. Throughout the 1950s and 60s, Lansbury continued to take on diverse film roles, often playing characters far older than her actual age, including manipulative mothers and scheming socialites. One of her most iconic performances from this period was in The Manchurian Candidate, in which she played the cold and calculating Mistress Iselin. The role earned her a 3rd Oscar nomination and became one of the most critically praised performances of her career. Angela's theater work was equally groundbreaking. Her Broadway debut came in 1957 with Hotel Paradiso, but it was her show-stopping turn in Mame that made her a stage legend. She went on to win 5 Tony Awards for Best Actress in a Musical for her roles in Mame, Dear World Gypsy, Sweeney Todd the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and Blythe Spirit. Her portrayal of Mistress Lovett in Sweeney Todd, in particular, remains one of the most lauded performances in musical theater history. She balanced grotesque humor, maternal longing, and sinister pragmatism in a way that thrilled audiences and critics alike. In the realm of animation, she reached a whole new generation with her voice performance as the warm-hearted Mistress Potts in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, singing the beloved title song that became a classic. She also made appearances in popular television series such as Touched by an Angel, Law and Order SVU, and even lent her voice to animated shows and narrations in her later years, showcasing her enduring relevance across generations and genres. Her career, characterized by reinvention and excellence, positioned her as one of the rare performers who achieved critical acclaim, popular affection, and lasting influence all at once. Angela Lansbury was more than a working actress. She was a master of her craft, a standard-bearer for versatility and longevity in an often fickle industry. Though Angela Lansbury had already achieved remarkable success on stage and in film, it was her portrayal of amateur sleuth and mystery novelist Jessica Fletcher in the long-running television series Murder, She Wrote that brought her global recognition and became the defining role of her career for millions of fans. Ironically, Lansbury accepted the part not out of passion for television, but largely for financial and practical reasons. In later interviews, she candidly explained that she had family obligations, and the steady income and schedule of a weekly series offered her the stability she needed at the time. Her decision was driven by the needs of her children and the desire to maintain a firm grounding after years of transatlantic moves and personal challenges. Despite initial hesitation about taking on television full-time, Angela quickly made the role her own. Jessica Fletcher, the wise, inquisitive, and fiercely intelligent mystery writer from Cabot Cove, Maine, became a symbol of female empowerment, independence, and grace. Angela brought depth, charm, and quiet authority to the character, defying ageist stereotypes, and proving that older women could be compelling, beloved leads. The series ran for 12 seasons, and spawned several made-for-TV movies, making it one of the most successful detective shows of all time. Although she was nominated for the Emmy Award a record 12 times for her role on Murder, She Wrote, she never won, a fact that puzzled fans and industry insiders alike. Nevertheless, she won 4 Golden Globe Awards for the series, and was honored in 2014 with an Academy Honorary Award, recognizing her lifetime contributions to the arts. The show's popularity endured across generations, with reruns and streaming bringing Jessica Fletcher into millions of households long after the original broadcast ended. Angela later reflected that the role gave her a second career and allowed her to connect with an even broader audience. It was a role she initially took out of necessity, but ultimately embraced with love, transforming it into a career milestone and cultural icon. Certainly, here is the detailed and coherent text about Angela Lansbury's final days, based on the given summary. Her passing occurred peacefully in her sleep at 1:30 in the morning on October 11, 2022, at her home in Los Angeles. This news was shared by her family through a statement describing her death as serene and surrounded by love. It was a moment that resonated deeply across the entertainment industry and beyond, as many generations of fans and colleagues mourned the loss of a person who had been a symbol of talent and kindness. Although the family chose not to specify the exact cause of her death, it was generally understood to have been due to natural causes. Some rumors circulated, suggesting complications from long-standing arthritis or speculative mentions of cosmetic procedures. However, those close to her dismissed these ideas, emphasizing her overall health and peaceful final days. Her children highlighted that she was comforted by her family, and that her last moments were filled with tranquility, reflecting the dignity and privacy she always valued throughout her life. In her final years, Angela Lansbury had stepped away from the public eye, choosing to enjoy quiet time while maintaining her mental agility. She sometimes appeared at special events to receive awards or pay tribute, but she mostly kept her personal life private. Her death marked the end of a remarkable era, closing the chapter on a career that spanned decades and touched nearly every part of the performing arts. Her life was a testament to courage, integrity, and resilience, qualities that made her admired by many. As news of her passing spread, numerous tributes poured in from actors, directors, politicians, and fans, each person recalling her grace, generosity, and the gravitas she brought to her work. Her legacy as a beloved actress and a remarkable person continues to inspire many, as her influence remains timeless. The revelation of her private battles offers a deeper understanding of the woman many thought they knew. Her children's confirmation sheds light on the untold strength she possessed throughout her life, enduring challenges with a resolve that often went unnoticed. Her decision to keep her struggles hidden was not out of fear, but out of a desire to protect her loved ones from worry and maintain control over her narrative. While the public saw her as a shining example of success, her family now shares the quieter, more private moments that reveal the true depth of her character. Her legacy is no longer just about the accolades and accomplishments that defined her career, but about the grace and courage she displayed behind the scenes. This new understanding of her life reminds us all that resilience is not always loud or visible. Sometimes, it's the silent strength in the face of adversity that leaves the most lasting impression. Her story, now fully revealed, encourages others to find courage in their own challenges and carry forward with quiet dignity, just as